Hello YouTube friends, welcome to the Last Homely Garden. I love making these videos for you about my garden and all the things that are happening here. But this video is a little bit different because I want to show you someone else's garden. Every year around about this time, it's kind of mid-September at the moment, and it's that beautiful sunshine you can sometimes have in September, but also all the berries are ripe and all the trees are full of apples. It's absolutely wonderful. But one place that has a place in my heart is Halls of Heddon, which is quite a drive for me, but I'm going to take you there this morning and we're going to have a look at what they call the flower fields. They're a dahlia and chrysanthemum nursery, and they grow the most amazing array of flowers, and these are so that people can choose which plants they might want to buy for next year. But more than that, it's just a spectacular display of colour. So we're going to go there today and you're going to come with me. So apart from anything, it's a really lovely drive here. But now we've arrived, let's go and see the flowers. It's pretty overwhelming seeing the huge range of colours and shapes and different varieties of all these dahlias and then chrysanthemums. I like the big spiky ones, and I like the little tiny pom-pom ones, and I like the pink ones, obviously, and I love the amazing yellow ones and all the fabulous range of colours. So the person who is in charge of this place is called David, and I'm going to go and find him now and have a chat with him, but then I also want to see if we can pick a bunch of flowers to take home. John's over there, he's picking flowers for the shop. And it might be that one of the ones in the shop will do just fine, but I also might custom my own bunch. Let's go and find David. So I'm here now with David. So David, this is your enterprise?
Yes, yeah, been going for over 100 years, and in about the mid-1920s we started specialising in dahlias.
In the 1920s, as long as that?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk a little bit about dahlias and what it is about dahlias.
Well, dahlias are dead easy to grow. People think they're complicated, and some people make it a lot more complicated than what it is.
Well, I think they're complicated.
We plant about 7,000 now, and what you're seeing in the fields it's our stock plants for next year. So the
Okay.
flowers are magnificent, really, really colourful, probably the most colourful area of Northumberland.
Yes.
People come from all over to look at them at this time of year, but this time of year is obviously our most important time, not just for people coming in, but it's our chance to assess all the stock that we're growing, to make sure it's all true to type, to
Yes.
variety, for health and vigour, rogue anything out. And where we're standing at the minute, we're also able to assess varieties that we have on trial from amateur breeders all over the country,
Okay.
and with the potential of, if they're good enough and deemed good enough, we'll put them in our catalogue. And this
Okay.
is one of our own, I should say Alan's own, because one of the lads, he collects the seed, we saw them, we'll look at them. This is the one from last year.
This one.
This is going into the catalogue, yeah, and it's Hadrian's Desire.
It's beautiful.
Hadrian's, because we're near Hadrian's Wall.
We are.
Some guy from down south didn't realise why we're using the Hadrian's prefix, and then it suddenly the penny dropped.
Okay. And desire because I want them.
That's what a customer said the other day, that was very desirable, and I thought, oh, that's a good name
Yeah.
for it.
Hadrian's Desire.
It's a collarette variety, very free flowering. All these open centred ones, the bees and butterflies love them, although there's not many butterflies about this year.
I've seen a few. You say they're easy to grow?
Yeah.
Okay, convince me.
Nice open sunny aspect, well drained soil, plenty of moisture. They're heavy feeders, so they need to be well fed. They won't tolerate growing next to trees or under trees. Just need a good open sunny aspect.
Okay.
Because the height of them and that and the rapid speed of growth, you've got to keep tying them in a domestic garden.
Yes.
You can't just leave them. We use wire supports because we've got too many. We couldn't
Yes.
get in and tie them all. And that's it. You know, so
Okay.
the flower from July, August onwards, right the way through to September, depending on how you start your plants. A lot of people just think they've got to grow from tubers to get the flowers. These are actually young plants that were taking off last year's tubers.
So tubers, I don't understand. Tubers, seeds.
Yeah.
So, and I thought it was all about tubers because my dad was always digging up his tubers and putting them in
Yeah.
straw in the shed.
There's a couple of ways to propagate dahlias, right? These were grown from seed, selected, but then to keep these
True.
characters true to type, they've got to be vegetatively propagated.
From
Right?
tubers.
So from tubers, which you can divide, tuber being the overwintering corm, if you like, the tuber source of new cutting material, they can be divided to propagate, or if you set them away, you can actually take cuttings. Because of the volume of plants that we do, we take cuttings
can
off
take
them.
cuttings.
So from the 7,000 tubers that we have in the field, we'll propagate roughly 100,000 plants each year.
Wow.
Okay.
And they're in the catalogue for next year?
This one is, yeah, and we're cataloguing. We're just working on it now at the moment, trying to get that out before the end of the month.
Okay.
There's a few other new varieties here that are going to be in, but some of them aren't quite there, or in other cases the stocks, we haven't got
No,
enough stock to
yeah.
introduce this year. It will be for next year, or it might just end up on the compost heap out the back if it's not good enough,
I love your colourful
which seems a
compost
shame.
heap. Yes, yeah. So I could talk to you for hours, and I know you're a really busy guy because you're going off now, aren't you, to finish proofing the catalogue for the
yeah.
end of the month. So I'll ask you this then. What's your favourite job to do in the garden?
Oh, favourite job?
Yeah, go on. Sitting with a cup of tea at the end of the
No.
day.
Favourite job is actually sometimes just being out and about in the field and just chatting away to customers, and in some cases they've travelled hundreds of miles. They deserve a little bit of time. I can't always do that, but it's sharing the knowledge and I suppose sharing the joy of what these flowers bring, because you see it on people's faces when
Yeah.
they come in.
Yeah,
As to
absolutely.
just how much they appreciate it. They've never seen anything like this before. Somebody said the other day, I've been to the Dutch bulb fields, but it's not a patch on this. Dutch bulb fields are much bigger, but this is
This is
almost
It's unique.
it's different.
It's
and
absolutely
you
unique.
couldn't have picked a better morning for them.
I know, it's good.
They're a bit
isn't it?
late this year, so there's some
Yeah.
varieties not quite there with the colour. They're still coming on. That's been the season. It's been a problematic season from that point of view.
Right.
But we are where we are.
Because that's it. You're at the mercy of the weather.
Yeah, and there nearly wasn't anything last week. If it got a couple of degrees colder on Friday morning,
We had
these
a
would have been
frost.
black,
Yes.
and there would have been nothing to see, which
Yeah.
would have made our assessment of stock quality very, very
Very
difficult.
hard to do.
Yeah, and there we are. But yeah, forecast is good for the next couple of weeks.
Great.
Up another 30th, and we might see 1 or 2 more
butterflies
flitting about.
Well, I can't thank you enough for stopping and talking to us on what I know is a very, very busy day for you. Thank you so much. We're going to have a wander around the fields now, and I'm going to take photographs of all my favourite ones, but this is on my wish list, Hadrian's Desire.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I would put an order in when the catalogue's out for plants for this next year.
For plants of this one for next year, because on a new variety we never have the tubers, so young plants that you can get in April or May, plant out in June, and then remember I said these were all new plants this year. There were cuttings that we took from last year's tubers in April and May after we'd done all the customers' orders, then planted out, only plants about this big, from a small cell, not even a big 9cm pot. They were about 2.5, about 4cm plug that we plant them out of, and then they grow from that to this in the space of 2 months, 2.5 months.
Okay, well, so people who are watching The Last Homely Garden, then you'll have to check out next September to see if I've actually got these growing in my garden. That's my aim.
Yeah, I'll say there is a misconception that you've got to have plant tubers to get them flowering in the first year, and it's a bit of a battle that we're like almost having with some of the new influencers, if you like.
Yeah.
That you're basically telling people, no, many plant won't flower the first year. You'll have to grow it in a pot to get a tuber, then plant it out.
Right. Well, we're here to squash that rumour then.
Yeah.
Because what we can actually do is buy a small plant next year and get a flower later that year.
Yeah.
And then will that come back and back and back?
It'll produce a tuber while it's growing. So all of these are building up tubers in the ground.
Right.
But we will then lift, and then that will be our source of next year's stock.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to hold myself accountable. That's my challenge, to grow some of these.
Right.
So to get a nice big area of these, how many plants would I need?
Well, this is about 8 plants here. They're planted 40 centimetres apart.
Okay. All right, guys. I accept
Don't get
the
carried
challenge.
away. Don't order too many. Some people are seen to order a load of them and then realise they haven't got enough space. They cram them together.
And that doesn't work either.
Somebody was on the phone. How many dahlias can I put in a pot? What size pots for this? He says 12-inch pots.
One.
I said 1. He said, what? I was hoping to put 3 in. Nope.
No.
So he's going to have to go out and buy 20 more pots and about 250 litres more compost.
Exactly. Well, my dad was a great dahlia grower. He really was amazing. And you've passed on some of your knowledge today, just like he did to me. So I'm really grateful. And we're going to say thank you, David, and we'll let you catch up with your busy hour. We absolutely are enjoying it. We really are. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, we're definitely going to grow some of these next year. So I've just bumped into Rachel, and you pick flowers for sale in the shop.
Yeah, and also people that have got their own florist shops and a lot of harvest festivals. So there's a lot of people that live locally. There's a lot of churches in Newcastle.
Okay.
And they do harvest festivals.
Yes.
And they mainly like the autumn colours, so oranges, reds, yellows.
And so you're picking for them.
Yeah.
Buckets for them to come and collect.
They pay for them.
Yes.
Because the church, I think, only gives them a certain amount of money to spend.
Okay.
So also as well, we do chrysanths on the harvest festivals because they last longer in church.
They last a long time.
And because the church is cooler because there's no heating, that's why they last longer.
Yes.
But the dahlias are different because they're more vibrant. So your red there is way vibrant than a red up there. So you can almost say it's a bit like paint. This is gloss. That is matte.
Okay.
That's that sort of thing. And it is, when you look at it, you could pick a red from here, take it up there, and it would be a slightly different red.
I've just been and looked at all the pom-pom dahlias,
Right.
and I think I might want more than one bunch.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I understand
But what
that, yeah.
I'd really like is like all the dual colours of the pom-poms, like a load of sweeties in a jar.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
A big bunch of the same size, but every colour that you think looks great together.
Right, okay, so a bit of a clashy thing type
Yes,
thing?
I think
or,
we'll
yeah,
clash.
Clashy,
I
or
think-
a bit of, some people use those like dual colours. So
Yes.
things like pinks,
Yes.
reds, purples,
Yes.
even though they kind of clash, they do look quite good together.
I think you should just go for it and pick me a bunch of pom-poms that will just knock your eyes
So it's
out.
pom-pom style. Is
Yeah.
it okay if I picked maybe a smaller ball that's still pom-pom?
If it fits in,
Yes.
if it fits into the size, then you go for it. You
Oh,
know
right,
your
okay,
flowers better than me. Okay, Rachel, let's do this.
Let's do this. Right, so we'll stay away from these because these are classed as like a small miniature deck, don't necessarily have that pom-pom look about them, whereas the small ball and the poms do have that kind of right,
Lead the way.
Right, let's go.
She knows what she's talking about.
These are classed as a large pom, and they're just normal. And what we've been doing in the last few years on large pom is we've disbudded them. So we've taken off those side shoots and then just allowed one bud to come up.
Okay.
And then it's made it slightly bigger. Now you could do that with those.
In the grand scheme of things, for this bunch though, I'm going to say, beautiful though they are, these are a bit too big.
Okay, fine. Right,
So
that's
we're
right.
gonna
But that's good to know then.
This is your size, this one
Yeah.
here.
So yeah,
any
flashy
colour.
colours. You've got a nice dark purple there. If you want to just choose what you fancy.
I'm going to let you choose. We definitely need that yellow in there though, and a red and a purple. I think you just go bonkers.
Right.
Totally bonkers.
Let's pick a nice one because I want to pick a nice one that's got a nice stem on it, and it's still nice to look at. And that one there's quite nice because it's still got quite a few little buds coming up. So that's quite nice because that's clashy and it's eye-catching. I mean, you know, it's not like, sometimes it's like sort of, you know, some people like garish stuff. You know, so their decor in their house is clashy. Oh, and their clothes. Their clothes are clashy. You know that thing of, you know, blue and green should never be seen. That's just rubbish. What's up there? I've got a nice bright orange up there.
Bright orange,
well.
yes. Lovely,
There.
absolutely lovely. A couple of lighter ones.
You've got
What's that one up the top there? On the left, on the right. That's mine.
right. How's that then?
That's amazing. Let's look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, Rachel.
Oh yes.
We'll have that.
Right.
Thank you very
I'll take
much.
it to the shop.
Thank you. Take it to the shop and I'll hand over.
Some dosh,
Some
and
dosh
I'll
for
work
that.
out a price for you.
Yeah, do that.
I will do.
Nice big price. Okay. Well, that concludes my annual visit to Halls of Heddon. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, but I've got a feeling I might be back one more time before the flowers fade. It's such a wonderful place. I'll leave a link to this place in the description below so you can visit the website and have a look at the dahlias that they'll send out next year to UK mainland. Amazing. Now, I'm going to go back home again, have a look at my garden and see where possibly we could put some dahlias. And I'm going to order them for next spring. Check back in a year's time and see if I've managed to do that. But I don't post to a regular schedule to this channel, and so when you subscribe it's a good idea to put your notifications on, because that way you'll be notified when I do make a video. Over on the Last Homely House channel there's a regular schedule, but here it's just when I've got something to say about the garden, or about someone else's garden in this case. So thank you so much for watching, and enjoy these beautiful flowers.